Hello friends, welcome back to a new lecture. In this particular lecture, we are going to discuss about how to collect and data. In the last lecture, we have discussed about various types of sampling, how we do sampling, in that stratified sampling, sequential sampling, simple random sampling, cluster sampling, geographical sampling, some area sampling. These are the various types of sampling we have seen it. Now, the collection of data, how we are going to collect data that we are going to discuss in this particular lecture. In dealing with any real life problem, it is often found that the data at hand are inadequate and hence it becomes necessary to collect data that are appropriate. Okay, so whenever we are going for any kind of research, collection of data plays a very important role because on the data itself, by using data itself, we are going to draw the conclusion. Primary data can be collected either through experiment or through the survey. So these are very important source of data. First is experiment, otherwise another is survey. If the researcher conduct an experiment, he observes some quantitative measurement or the data with the help of which he examines the truth contained in his hypothesis. But in the case of survey, the data can be collected by anyone or more than one. Okay, so we are knowing that for collection of data, first is important is experiment or another is survey. Now, when experiment is used, when survey is used, it depends upon which kind of research you are doing it. Okay, so if you are doing a technical or scientific research, then you are going to do an experiment, and in the experiment you are going to select a data. Whereas in case of survey, like survey is used for the management kind of research. Okay, some of the time experimental plus survey can be used, or some other secondary type of data or collection methods are also available, but major is experimental and survey. Now, in case of survey, the data can be collected by anyone or more of the following ways. There are different ways by which we can collect data. By observation, we can observe the certain things. Through personal interview, how we can observe? Through personal interview, through telephonic interview, by mailing of questionnaires, through schedule. Okay, so these are various methods by which we can collect the data. Okay, the researcher should select this method of collection, the data, taking into consideration the nature of investigation, objectives, scope of the inquiry, financial resources available, time, and desired degree of accuracy. Now, which method you will use, that will be decided by this one. What are the things? Nature of investigation, how you are going to investigate. What is the objective? What is the scope of inquiry? What is the financial resources? What is the available time for you? And the desired degree of accuracy. Accordingly, any one method for collection of data will be decided. Now, next, collection of data through the schedules. Under this method, the enumerator, someone who collect census data by visiting individual homes, the person who is going to collect the data, that is what called as enumerator. Person who collect data is called as enumerator. Okay, are appointed and given training. Under this method, the enumerator are appointed and given training. So enumerator is appointed and training is given to that particular. That is what called as collection of data through schedule. They are provided with schedules containing relevant questions. So schedule will be given to them containing relevant questions. Then these enumerator go to respondent with these schedules. Data are collected by filling up schedule by enumerator on the basis of replies given by the respondent. Much depends on the capability of enumerator so far as this method is concerned. So in this particular method, we are going to select some persons who is going to collect the data, and when he is collecting the data, we are going to give certain schedule, and according to schedule only, the data will be get selected or data will be collected. Now when the data is collected, the skill of enumerator is very very important. If he is skillful and he can collect data well, but if he is not skillful, then data you may not get accurate. Some occasional field check on the work of enumerator may ensure sincere work. Okay. Now execution of the project. So 6 number we have seen collection of data, how we have collected it. Now execution of project. If the execution of project proceed on a correct line, the data to be collected would be adequate and dependable. The researcher should see that the project is executed in a systematic manner and in time. So if data is collected well, then execution of project will become very easy, and whatever researcher is there, he has to ensure that systematic manner and time the data is going on. The training may be given with the help of instructor manuals which explain clearly the job of interviewer to each step. Occasionally field checks should be made, ensure that the interviewer are doing their assigned job sincerely and efficiently. So interviewer is generally we call it as enumerator. That is what we have discussed in the previous slide, enumerator. Now enumerator is doing his job sincerely, that can be checked by using what? A field visit, random field visit or checking. Okay. Now if some of the respondents do not cooperate, some suitable method should be designed to tackle such problem. One method of dealing with non-respondent problem is to make a list of non-respondent and take small subsample of them, and then with the help of expert enumerator, effort can be made for securing a response. It may happen that the enumerator which we have selected, the people may not give a response to that. We can make a list of these people and we can provide them expert enumerator which has a great skill to take out or to find out the related data which is available with them. Okay. The next step is analysis of data. The analysis of data required number of closely related operations such as establishment of category, the application of this category to raw data, coding, tabulation, and then drawing statistical inference. The data should be necessarily condensed into few manageable groups and tables for further analysis. Thus, researchers should classify the raw data into some purposeful and usable category. Now, whenever we have collected data, that data we have to analyze. For analysis of data, the application of this category to raw, the coding, the analysis can be done by the coding, tabulation, drawing statistical inference. Then we can use a graph. Some computer tools are also available for the analysis of the data. Okay. In coding operation, the categories of data are transformed into symbol that may be tabulated and counted. Editing. So these are different steps of analysis of data. First is coding operation, then editing. Editing is the procedure that improves the quality of data for the coding. Because of editing, the data gets improved. Tabulation is the part of technical procedure wherein the classified data are put in the form of table. So we have to collect all the data in the form of table. Use of computer. The computer will be very very useful for the analysis of data. Computers not only save the time but also make it possible to study large number of variables affecting problems simultaneously. So there are a very big data bank will be available, like 15,000, 20,000 readings are available, and studying these particular readings, calculating some conclusions, it becomes very very difficult. It becomes very very difficult by the manual effort. So we can take help of computer, and computer can save a time, money, and he can do the analysis very fast, and the computer can do the analysis with high accuracy. Okay, this is analysis of data. Then hypothesis testing. In the hypothesis testing, what we are going to do, we have already decided what is meant by hypothesis. Hypothesis is assumption which we have made at the start of research. Whether this assumption has correct or not, that we can be tested by observing analysis of data. So whether we have made correct hypothesis or not, that can be decided by observing the data. Generalization and interpretation. Generalization and interpretation is related to conclusion. We'll read it. If hypothesis is tested and upheld several times, it may be possible for the researcher to arrive at generalization. That's what called as conclusion. Drawing a conclusion of the research. This is the last step. That is, build a theory as a matter of fact, and real value of research lies in the ability of arrive at some generalization. Generalization is related to conclusion which you have to draw at the end of the research. If a researcher had no hypothesis to start with, he might seek explain his finding on the basis of some theory. It is known as interpretation. So if hypotheses are not decided at the start, then whatever data we collect, that we can call it as what? Interpretation. And the final step of your research is what? Preparation of report, or it's also called as thesis. The layout of report should be as follows. The general guideline for preparing a report are as like this: the preliminary pages, then main text, and then end matter. These are the three basic sections. These we can say it's the three sections of what? These we can say three sections of the report: preliminary pages, main text, and end matter. What is the preliminary content? That's what we are written here. That is date, title and date, then followed by acknowledgement and forward, table of content, and followed by list of table, list of graph, charts, if any, given in the report. So these are called as the preliminary pages, which will be available at the start of any of the report. Okay. Then this is the main part of your report: a clear statement of objectives and research, an explanation of methodology. This is the main part, and in the main part we are going to do an introduction, and in the introduction we should include this parameter, that objective of research, methodology, the scope of study, that we should include. End part of the report should include, so end part, appendices in respect of all technical data, bibliography, that is a list of books, journals, and report, etc. This is the last one. Okay. This was the all steps of the research we have discussed in detail, the steps included in the research. Thank you.